One snowy night, a little old woman wishes for a party. She wishes so hard that she gets even more than she wished for. Turn to the page with a picture of the house with snow on it and the man and woman standing in front. And let's read together. There was this little old woman and this little old man, and they lived in a little old farmhouse way out in Dakota. They lived all alone on the farm with some chickens. Outside, it was snowing and snowing, and the wind was blowing. And the little old woman said, "I'm mighty lonely here, with just you and the chickens for company. I'd like to give me a party and have plenty of folks in." And the little old man said, "What's the matter with you, woman? Are you daft? We don't know a soul to invite to a party. And if we did know a soul, who would come to a party through all this wind and snow?" The little old woman looked out of the window, and she could see that outside it was snowing and snowing, and she could hear the wind blowing. And she said, "I'd bake me a cake and put candles on it, and I'd hire me a fiddler to fiddle a tune, and there would be feasting and dancing and merrymaking. There would be high jinks and low jinks. It would be a fine party, I can tell you." "Woman, are you daft?" said the little old man. "Even if we knew a soul to invite to a party, and even if they came through the wind and the snow, we don't have a crust or a crumb of cake or a thimbleful of flour in the house to bake one." Outside it was snowing and snowing, and the wind was blowing. Inside, the little old woman turned on all the lights so the house wouldn't look so lonely. And she turned on the radio so the house wouldn't sound so lonely. The man on the radio was advertising the KM bakery. He was saying, "The next time you have a party, order KM's luscious, delicious, delightful, and simply heavenly chocolate fudge cake. And remember, the KM bakery delivers its delicious cakes, bread, pies, cupcakes, cinnamon rolls, and buns right to your door. So, when you hear that knock, 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 answer the door as fast as you can, 'cause knock, 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 knock means here comes the KM man." "Chocolate cake," the little old woman sighed. "Cinnamon rolls, buns." Then, all of a sudden, the wind blew hard and harder, and it blew down the electric lines, and the radio went off, and the lights went out, and it was dark in the little house. So the little old woman lit candles. She had a lot of candles, and she lit them all and put them on the table. The table looked like a big birthday cake. It had so many candles all around it. "I wish it were a cake," said the little old woman. "I wish the table were a big cake and we were having a party." "Hush, woman," said the little old man. "Wishes won't wash dishes, and wishes won't stop the wind from blowing or the snow from snowing." And he put on his high galoshes and his overcoat, and his hat, and his earmuffs, and his mittens. "Where are you going in all this snow and wind?" asked the little old woman. "We have 300 baby chicks in the barn, and I'm going to bring them into the house to keep them warm. 300 chirping chicks will be company enough." "Well, bring in the chicks," said the little old woman. "But that's not the company I'm wishing for." And the little old man went out the back door to the barn with the snow snowing and the wind blowing. Listen. There is a knock at the front door. Knock, knock. The little old woman hurries to the door. "Who could be knocking at our door?" she says. "On a night like this, with the snow snowing and the wind blowing?" She opens the door, and in comes a great blast of wind and snow. And there stands a man saying, "My car is stuck in the snow with a carload of people. Would you be good enough, old woman, to let us come in out of the snow and the wind until the snowplow comes to clear the road?" Come in," says the little old woman, "and bring your carload of people, and welcome." And she scoops up a panful of snow and puts it on the stove to boil to make a pot of hot tea. The man goes to his car and brings back his wife and his mother and his 3 brothers-in-law. And his wife is carrying a tiny baby wrapped in a blanket. The little old man is bringing in a basket full of chirping chicks. He says, "Welcome, welcome. Make yourselves at home. My little old woman was wishing for company." Then he picks up a box and goes out the back door again to bring in some more baby chicks. Listen. There is a knock at the front door. Knock, knock. The little old woman hurries to the door, and there in the wind and the snow stand a man and his wife and their twin boys and another man and a big hunting dog. Their car is stuck in the snow, and they are waiting for the snowplow to come through and clear the road. Come in, says the little old woman, and welcome. There's plenty of hot tea to drink, though there's not a crust or a crumb of cake or bread in the house to eat with it. Then the little old man comes in with a box full of chirping chicks. Now there are 11 grown-ups and 1 baby and 2 little boys and a big hunting dog in the house. Welcome, welcome, says the little old man. My little old woman was wishing for company, and now she has it. And once again he goes out the back door and into the wind and snow to bring in some more baby chicks. Outside the snow is snowing and the wind is blowing, and the strangers are glad to be inside. But listen, someone is knocking at the front door. Knock, knock. The little old woman hurries to the door, and there are 3 carloads of people. Their cars are stuck in the snow, and they must wait for the snowplow to come through to clear the road. Come in, says the little old woman, and welcome. So now, when the little old man comes in the back door with a box of chirping baby chicks, he counts 27 grown-ups, 5 children, 3 babies, 2 dogs, and a parakeet. Welcome, welcome, says the little old man. My little old woman was wishing for company, and now she has it. But listen. Someone is knocking at the front door. Knock, knock. The little old woman hurries to the door, and the little old man comes with her. There is only one man standing at the door in the wind and the snow. He says, the snow is snowing, and the wind is blowing, and my bus is stuck in the snow. May I wait inside till the snowplow comes? Come in, says the little old woman, and welcome. So the bus driver goes to the bus, and comes back with 42 grown-ups, 7 children, 2 babies, 3 dogs, a canary, and a little pet skunk. "Welcome, welcome," says the little old man. "My little old woman was wishing for company, and now she has it." "If only," says the little old woman, "if only there were a crust or a crumb of cake or bread in the house." Listen. Someone is knocking at the front door. Knock, knock. And someone is knocking at the back door. Knock, knock. The little old woman hurries to the front door, and the little old man goes to the back door. It is the snowplow man at the front door.
"My snowplow got stuck in the snow,"
he says. So he comes in to wait till the other snowplows come. At the back door, there are more people who got stuck in the snow. "Come in, and welcome, welcome," say the little old woman and the little old man. All night long, people come knocking at the door. Now there are 84 grown-ups, 17 children, 7 babies, 6 dogs, a cat, a parakeet, a canary bird, and a little pet skunk in the little old house. Outside, it is snowing, and the wind is blowing. Inside, the babies are yowling, the dogs are yapping, the chicks are chirping, the mothers are scolding. "It's a shame," says the little old woman. "It's a shame. All these people and no party. If only there were a crust or a crumb of cake or bread in the house, or a bit of music." But listen. Someone is knocking at the door. It is a very special knock. Knock, knock. Knock, knock, knock. Knock, knock. Knock, knock, knock. The little old woman hurries to open the door. It is the KM man, the man from the KM bakery. His trailer truck is stuck in the snow right in front of the door. Come in, says the little old woman, and welcome." The KM man comes in, and he looks around at all the people there, and he says, "You look like mighty hungry people to me." And the little old woman says, "There's not a crust or a crumb of bread or cake in the house, but you're welcome to come in out of the wind and the snow." "Who will help me?" says the KM man. "Who will help me unload my truck?" Then he chooses some of the children and some of the grown-up men. What a parade. First come the trays full of rolls, crunchy, crusty rolls, brown and shiny. Soft, fluffy rolls, white and powdery. Poppy seed rolls, sesame seed rolls, little rolls braided like ribbons, smooth, round rolls shaped like a baby's bottom. Then come the trays of cinnamon buns. The cinnamon makes the air smell like perfume. Now comes a special parade of pies. Lemon meringue pies, cherry pies, apple pies, coconut custard pies, chocolate cream pies. Now come the cupcakes. Chocolate, vanilla, with pink icing, white icing, rich chocolate icing. The little old woman jumps up and down and claps her hands. "It's a party," she says. "It's a party, sure enough." "Ha," says the KM man. "If it's a party, I'd better bring in my special order chocolate fudge party cake." So he brings it in, and the little old woman puts candles all around it, and somebody makes party hats out of newspapers, and everyone eats to his heart's content. Then the accordion player plays his accordion, and he plays so gaily that no one can sit still. Everyone stamps his feet to the music. Even the babies wave their fat little hands and feet in time to the music. Now the accordion player plays a waltz tune, and the little old man grabs the little old woman around the waist and waltzes with her till they are both out of breath, which doesn't take very long. And everybody claps hands and begins to dance too. The accordion player plays and plays. He plays Turkey in the Hay, Turkey in the Straw, and he plays Pop Goes the Weasel, and he plays I Put My Left Foot In. Oh, he knows 100 tunes, and he plays them all. It's a party, all right. There is feasting and dancing and merrymaking. There are high jinks and low jinks. It's a fine party, I can tell you. The party lasts until noontime, when the snow stops snowing and the wind stops blowing, and the snow plows come through and clear the road. Everyone says goodbye to the little old woman and the little old man, and they all say it is the best party they have ever been to. The little old woman is so content and so happy and so tired and so sleepy that she lays her head on the table next to a coconut custard pie and falls fast asleep and dreams about the party all over again.
When you think of a bird, you probably picture him flying in the air. You know that birds use their wings to fly. But one little bird was born without any wings at all. This is his story. Turn to the page with a picture of the bird without wings standing on the ground in the forest. And let's read together. Many years ago, I knew a little bird whose name was Tico. He would sit on my shoulder and tell me all about the flowers, the ferns, and the tall trees. Once, Tico told me this story about himself. I don't know how it happened, but when I was young, I had no wings. I sang like the other birds, and I hopped like them, but I couldn't fly. Luckily, my friends loved me. They flew from tree to tree, and in the evening, they brought me berries and tender fruits gathered from the highest branches. Often I asked myself, why can't I fly like the other birds? Why can't I, too, soar through the big blue sky over villages and treetops? And I dreamt that I had golden wings, strong enough to carry me over the snow-capped mountains, far away. One summer night, I was awakened by a noise nearby. A strange bird, pale as a pearl, was standing behind me. "I am the wishing bird," he said. "Make a wish, and it will come true." I remembered my dreams, and with all my might, I wished I had a pair of golden wings. Suddenly, there was a flash of light, and on my back, there were wings. golden wings, shimmering in the moonlight. The wishing bird had vanished. Cautiously, I flapped my wings. And then I flew. I flew higher than the tallest tree. The flower patches below looked like stamps scattered over the countryside, and the river like a silver necklace lying in the meadows. I was happy, and I flew well into the day. But when my friends saw me swoop down from the sky, they frowned on me and said, "You think you are better than we are, don't you? With those golden wings. You wanted to be different." And off they flew, without saying another word. Why had they gone? Why were they angry? Was it bad to be different? I could fly as high as the eagle. Mine were the most beautiful wings in the world. But my friends had left me, and I was very lonely. One day, I saw a man sitting in front of a hut. He was a basket maker, and there were baskets all around him. There were tears in his eyes. I flew onto a branch from where I could speak to him. "Why are you sad?" I asked. "Oh, little bird, my child is sick, and I am poor. I cannot buy the medicines that would make him well." How can I help him, I thought. And suddenly, I knew. I will give him one of my feathers. "How can I thank you?" said the poor man happily. "You have saved my child. But look, your wing." Where the golden feather had been, there was a real black feather, as soft as silk. From that day, little by little, I gave my golden feathers away, and black feathers appeared in their place. I bought many presents. 3 new puppets for a poor puppeteer. A spinning wheel to spin the yarn for an old woman's shawl. A compass for a fisherman who got lost at sea. And when I had given my last golden feathers to a beautiful bride, my wings were as black as India ink. I flew to the big tree where my friends gathered for the night. Would they welcome me? They chirped with joy. "Now you are just like us," they said. We all huddled close together. But I was so happy and excited I couldn't sleep. I remembered the basket maker's son, the old woman, the puppeteer, and all the others I had helped with my feathers. Now my wings are black, I thought. And yet, I am not like my friends. We are all different, each for his own memories and his own invisible golden dreams.
You have probably seen a small black ant crawling on the ground. What do you think he thought when he saw you? Turn to the page with a picture of an ant standing on a leaf and looking at the big foot, and let's read together.
Here I am, said Aunt, away from home, all on my own for the very first time. I have walked all day. I have come a long way. What a great steep wall, said Aunt. I must be careful not to fall. Here I am, said Tom. Here I am in the same old spot. And it's just as hot as it was yesterday. What is there to do? Asked Tom. Nothing new. What a fine, tall tree, said Aunt. Could there be something sweet on top for me? Should I try to climb it? How it sways in the wind. Swing, swing, sway, sway. Oh, this is such a worrisome day, said Aunt. Here is that same old rose, said Tom. I'll smell that same old rose with my same old nose. Same old smell, said Tom. Buzz. Buzz. What is that? Aunt cried. It is big and black, with a voice like thunder. I must hide, Aunt cried. What can I hide under? Well, look what I see, said Tom. Same old bee and that same old rose. He was here yesterday. And he is here today. Buzz, buzz, bee, said Tom. Please go away. Swing, swing, sway, sway, said Aunt. I can't hold on to this tree all day. Help! Help! There I go, down into space. Such a long, long way. Oh, I am lucky. Right into a bed of soft, furry hay. Hello, cat, said Tom. Do you want to play? What? You want to sleep today? Same old sleepy cat, said Tom. I'm so tired, said Aunt. I'll just dig down a little way and take a nap in this nice, soft hay. Jump, bump. Goodness, said Aunt. Stay still, hay. Don't run away. I'll fall off. I'd better slide off anyway. But what's below? I don't know. Oh, oh.
Look at Cat, said Tom. Look at him jump and run. Same old jump. Same old run. Cats don't do anything new that's fun.
Where am I now? Whispered Ant. It is wet and cold. It is black as ink. It's a great, rough lake, cried Ant. I can't swim a stroke. I know I will sink.
Now, where I'd like to be, said Tom, is down by the sea. I would swim and float and sail a boat. But all that is here, said Tom, is that same old puddle. It's too little for a ship. It's too little for a dip. Silly same old puddle.
Saved, said Ant. Saved by a raft with a nice dry floor. Oh, if only the wind will blow it to shore, said Ant. Please, please. Oh, thank you, breeze.
Is that a stamp? Asked Tom. Or could it be a piece of a letter that came for me? No, it's not a stamp. And the writing's so small, I can't read any of the words at all. It can't be for me. Silly old piece of paper. Ant said,
I smell something sweet. And oh, how I want something good to eat. What is this I see? A great big hill of sweetness. Enough for me. And for my father and mother, my sisters and brothers, for every ant I know. But I can't make it move. I can't make it go. I know, said Ant. I'll get others to help me. How excited they'll be.
Nothing to do, said Tom. Nothing new. Even some candy or strawberry ice would be nice. Is that a piece of candy? Yes, but it's just a crumb. It's not even as big as the nail on my thumb.
Here I am, called Ant. Can you hear me, Father? Do you see me, Mother? Shall I tell you, sister? You won't believe it, brother.
And Ant said,
I walked a long way. I saw a steep wall. I climbed a great tree. A beast almost ate me. And then, what a fall! The hay that caught me moved like an earthquake. So I took a big leap right into a lake. It was black as ink, and I can't swim or float. I was going to sink when along came a boat, or rather a raft, and I climbed onto it. It took me to land before I knew it. And what did I find when I reached the shore but a hill of sweetness, enough for us and for hundreds more?
Here I am, said Tom,
still in the same old spot. And it's still just as hot as it was yesterday. I can close my eyes, said Tom, or look at the sky, or watch those silly old ants hurrying by. But what else is there to do? Asked Tom. Not a thing to do that is fun and new.
What a day, said Ant. Excitement and tears. I won't forget it for years and years.
You may know a dog or two, and you may know a cat, but you don't know anything like the animals in this story. Turn to the page with a picture of the giraffe sitting on the chair, and let's read together. I know a giraffe with no neck at all, and his hair grows over his eyes. He's really only 1 foot tall. He's awfully small for his size. He lives with my aunt and eats her pies. And he's getting to be terribly fat. He may be no giraffe at all. He might be a Persian cat. I know a cat who is much too fat and also much too tall. He's too fat for the sofa and too tall for the hall. In fact, he won't fit in the house at all. He eats milk and cream and wild gooseberries and hot dogs and spare ribs and maraschino cherries and sauerkraut and, most of all, honey. And he does something else I think is quite funny. He'll dance for his supper at a circus or fair, which is rare for a cat, but not for a bear. I know a bear who is ever so pretty and runs willy-nilly all over the city. Not only Willie, but other folks, too, can ride all around for a nickel or two. He's the unusualest bear I ever have seen. He's pawless and clawless and yellow and green. And when blocked by the traffic, he causes a scene. I think that perhaps the joke is on us. It could be he's only a Hoboken bus. I know a bus that runs on my street on 4 skinny legs, on 4 funny feet. There isn't any room for people inside, and from bumper to bumper, it's covered with hide. It has a long neck where the driver should be. Ha ha, ho ho, and also hee hee. I know a giraffe, and a giraffe knows me. Elizabeth went shopping. She bought quite a lot. She met some unusual people. Let's go along with her on her shopping spree.
turned to the page with a picture of Elizabeth in her car with her two animal friends. And let's read together. Elizabeth went shopping in her Thunderbug. She met a man with a very tall hat with a flower on it, and she asked him, "What can I buy with 100 million, billion, trillion, zillion dollars and 42 cents? I cashed in some empty bottles." And he said, "Mink coats are always nice." So Elizabeth bought 333,000 mink coats and mink collars for Nicholas and Phoebe, her miniature poodles. She met a lady who was feeding the animals in the park, and she asked her, "What can I buy with not quite $1 million and 42 cents?" And she said, "That just happens to be enough to buy 356 genuine stray kittens that I just happen to have in my very own apartment. You lucky girl, you." But Elizabeth only bought 355. She met Clyde P. Barnum, the famous animal trainer, and she asked him, "What can I buy with $500,000 and 42 cents?" But all he could say was, "Uh-oh, yak-nappers have yak-napped my yak. Oh, what'll I do? Oh, what'll I do?" So Elizabeth paid the ransom, and Clyde was back with his yak. She met a little old man with a long gray mustache, and she asked him, "What can I buy with $179,853 and 42 cents?" And he said, "Lots and lots 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 and lots." But since he didn't say anything else for a whole year, Elizabeth had to go lotless. She met a sea captain, and she asked him, "What can I buy with $179,853 and 42 cents?" And he said, "Batten the bridge and starboard the port, shiver me timbers and mainsails athwart." So Elizabeth bought a dozen of each. She met a cowpuncher, and she asked him, "What can I buy with $59,000 and 42 cents?" And he said, "Rattlesnake stew and tumbleweed tea." So Elizabeth bought him his dinner and made him eat every single bite. She met a grouch, and she asked her, "What can I buy with $24,000 and 42 cents?" And she said, "Hooey!" So Elizabeth looked high, and Elizabeth looked low, but not one hooey was to be found. she met a very fat man, and she asked him, "What can I buy with $24,042? And he said, "White mice are on sale at the 5 and dime." So Elizabeth bought 2. She met a gentleman, and she asked him, "What can I buy with 42 cents? And he said, "I can let you have the Brooklyn Bridge if you keep it under your hat." So she did. She had all of her purchases wrapped in a pretty package with a pink ribbon and placed it in the glove compartment of her Thunderbug and drove home just in time for supper.